Well, how you doing, YouTube? I hope everyone had a good holiday season, Christmas, or whatever you may or may not celebrate during the holiday season. Uh, we did here, so everything's going well. Um, so this is the last day of 2013. I had a very good year as far as beers go. So I decided after all this time to finally do a best and worst of list for the year. The worst of will be in another video. Um, but we're going to go through the best of here. And I gave a lot of fives this year, and I gave a lot of ratings that were four and over. Now, not everything necessarily on this, so this list was initially very large. I had to pare it down quite a bit and decide what I wanted to talk about. If I was to go over everything that was like 4.5 and above, even, it would be incredibly long. So basically what I tried to do is go through those sort of beers and pick the ones that really stood out to me. And I think there might even be a couple on here that aren't necessarily even a 4.5 or above. So the beer didn't necessarily have to be a beer or whatever to make it on the list of the best stuff I had this year. It just had to be something that was interesting that struck my fancy. But saying that, most of the stuff is actually like four and above or so. So yeah, we're gonna go through it here. I've got it broken up into three sections: Canadian beers, American beers, and a few international beers to round out everything. And then I'm gonna go back and pick a couple of just the best, the number ones for me this year. The rest are in no real particular order. It's not a big countdown from 10 best beers or whatever, because that's so stupid. I mean, if I really wanted to, I could go in there in detail and look at every rating I gave every beer and then just list it from top to bottom, right? But, fuck, who has time for that? I sure fuck don't. So, we're going to start with international beers first. The ones that struck my fancy, and I should be putting up pictures here, maybe even add a little background music, so it's not just you looking at me blabbing on for 10 minutes or however fucking long this video is. So, first thing I should mention is the Fuller's Vintage Ale. I had the 2011 version this year, and it was great. Just your perfect British barley wine slash old ale kind of thing. Everything you want in one of those sort of beers. It had aged really well, mellowed really well. Cool thing about the Fuller's Vintage Ales, of course, is they change them up every year, so every vintage is a real special thing. So I got to try that thanks to my buddy Jason Spears, Spears 104. And I was really appreciative of that. He also sent me a bunch of cool stuff. Actually, most of the stuff I got this year, the reason I can do this list is because I had so many awesome beer mails from people, whether it was from trades or whether it was from donations, you know, from guys like Jason, Dale, the Albino Rhino, Average Joe, Ewart Strange Brewsings, had beers from Guy, Don Rig 13. Probably forgetting a couple people, and if I am, I'm sorry, I apologize. But it was a really great year for that sort of thing. So anyway, Fuller's Vintage Ale 2011, really great. Innocent Gun Irish Whiskey Cask. That's their Irish Stout. The 2013 edition, I liked it better this year than previous year. I know some people didn't like it as much this year because it was more stout-like and it lost some of the sort of more Innocent Gun typical flavors from the previous year. I appreciated it more because it was more stout-like and it was more different from most of their lineup, so that's why that's here. I finally got to try the Trappist Rochefort 10. Excellent quadruple. I'm pretty sure I still said I liked Chimay Blue slightly better, but I mean, that's splitting hairs. Both of them are great fucking beers. Great representations of the style, and anyone who hasn't tried that beer should try to get their hands on it. It's great stuff. Rounding out the international stuff this year that really stood out for me was the Ode Goose from Tilquin. Fantastic, man. Absolutely fantastic. It's sort of a sour lambic kind of beer. For one of the first ones that's really stood out for me as being really great, outside of like Orval, and Orval is sort of a different beer in that regard anyway. Like, it's more of its own style. So, yeah, that one was a real nice surprise. I really loved it. It was very well balanced, had a good champagne-y quality to it, and it wasn't overly sour or anything like that, so it wasn't off-putting to me. So I really enjoyed that. So there's the international stuff. Now we're going to move to the U.S. I had Founders Backwoods Bastard this year. Great, wee heavy. Always appreciate getting a really good one of those in style. So yeah, Founders Backwoods Bastard, great wee heavy / Scotch ale. Great stuff from Founders. When they do their stuff right, they just fucking hit it right out of the park, man. I had 3 beers from Firestone Walker this year. Very lucky to get these. I had their double DBA. Which I really liked. Really nice British style to it. I had their Sukaba. And the Parabola 2013. I actually compared the Parabola 2013 with the KBS, and honestly I could put the KBS on this list too if I wanted to, but I'm trying to keep it a little bit more pared down to stuff I've had for the first time this year, for the most part. I mean, I just said Innocent Gone and Fuller's Vintage Ale. I've had those before, but, you know, I'm trying not to repeat myself too much, because if this list would be fucking huge. It would just be impossibly huge. So yeah, Sukaba, Parabola, great. I mean, they fit the Walesboro qualifications, but they do it in an honest way. They're not overhyped at all. Excellent fucking beers. Pretty much the only IPA / pale ale this year for me was Three Floyd's Dreadnought. Just a great combination of hop flavors coming together in this big Imperial IPA. Fucking knocked it out of the park, man. It was just one of those ones that catch me by surprise. I think most people know I'm not much of a big IPA guy at all, but when I get a really great one that really tastes awesome, and this was it. Dreadnought from Three Floyds. It was great stuff, man. I was taken back, caught off guard, and pleasantly surprised by it. So it was really awesome. Okay, so we'll move from the American stuff now to the Canadian stuff that really stood out for me this year. And actually, there was more Canadian stuff this year than anything else that actually stood out for me. So that was also a very nice surprise, because usually that probably wouldn't be the case. So I got the ALD Hardy from, I guess it's the Brassier du Monde. Sent to me by Guy. Thomas Hardy interpretation, clone, however you want to put it. I still haven't had the regular Thomas Hardy yet, but having this was a nice little tease. Just a great wee old ale barley wine kind of thing. I don't know if I liked it better than Fuller's Vintage Ale or not. I'd have to go back and actually watch both reviews and try to think. I'm thinking I like the ALD Hardy better, though. It's really great. From Brassier de Montreal, I believe it was, I had Le Stout. Cafe plus vanilla. Coffee plus vanilla. Not the most complex beer in the world. I'll say that right off the bat. It really is just coffee and vanilla and an overall sort of chocolate thing. So it was like a chocolate cake with coffee and vanilla icing or something like that on it, right? And it was just the perfect, absolute perfect dessert beer. Fucking fantastic. I wish I had more of it. It was so damn good. Just one of those ones where so big in flavor, but it wasn't cloying or anything like that. It just totally caught me off guard, and I was like, whoa, what am I drinking here? Just liquid dessert. It was great. Couple from Bose, and Bose have had a couple disappointing beers this year as well, and we'll get to at least one of those in the next video, but when they do their stuff great, they still do it fucking great, man. They're still world class. Their Burnt Rock Vanilla Porter. Really stood out for me this year. Really loved it. I think I like it better even than the smoked porter from Stone with the vanilla beans. I like this one better, I think. It was just an amazing, amazing achievement. Bose the Bogfather, which was their Imperial Gruit. I don't know if you can exactly call it a true Gruit, because I believe it does have hops in it, but it is their Imperial version of their bog water, and fucking awesome, man. It's got the bog myrtle in it from whatever bog that is in Ontario that they get it from. Friggin' fantastic, man. And you don't see too many Gruits around, so the fact that they can make one and make it so fucking great. Great label, too. So yeah, Bose, awesome. Couple from Pump House this year, which was a big surprise to me. They really stepped up their game in the last year or so. First off, their Braunschweig Wicked Wheat. Just a wheat beer that really came out of left field for me. I didn't expect anything of this, man. I just figured it was going to be a typical North American Snorefest. But no, it was like a really nice interpretation of a German Weizen. And it was just so flavorful and so good, and I was really pleasantly surprised. That was my beer of the summer, this past summer. I loved it. I kept buying it and buying it. It was so damn good. Great job by Pump House. Another great beer from Pump House was their Doppelbock. I've got two in my cellar right now. One will be, I thought it was going to be next month, but it's actually, I think, in March that the first one's coming up for a year cellared to try. But yeah, their Doppelbock was just amazing, mind-blowingly good. And again, it wasn't necessarily the most complex version of a Doppelbock I've ever had, but the achievement in making that beer, where it's a 10% that drinks so super smooth, and they're selling it in 6-packs for the regular price you buy your regular everyday craft beers around here. Same price. So there's no way I can hate on this beer. It was just so great. If they make it again this year, I'm buying a shitload of it. Send it out for beer mails and stuff, because it's just amazing. It's everything you want, really, in a big monster beer. Incredibly dangerous beer. Alright. From Duty Seal. The one beer, I had a few really great Duty Seal beers this year, but the one that really stood out for me was the Siki Nicho. Probably pronouncing that totally incorrectly, but it was their Black Saison. Some combination there in the malts and the little bit of innate sourness in it. Came off like breakfast sausages to me. I really enjoyed it. Just a unique flavor all around. Just, you know, it's another one of those ones that caught my attention. Wow, I want more of this. I definitely want more of this. Actually, that might be my favorite beer from Duty Seal, and Duty Seal make a lot of really great beers. so that's saying something. I don't think it's necessarily my highest rated beer from them, but it's the one I like the most. So good job, Duty Seal. Duty Seal, however you pronounce it. So now we'll do my top beers of the year, basically my top 3. 2 of them are Canadian, one of them is American, and this is not in order of, you know, gold, bronze, silver, whatever, you know. They're all fucking basically perfect, and not one of them is better than the other overall. So first off, from America, the Goose Island Bourbon County Stout, the 2012 edition. Mind-blowingly great, 15% beer. Can't taste the alcohol at all, really. I mean, there was a little bit of warmth or whatever going down, but man, it was just so damn smooth, so dangerously smooth, so complex, amazingly big bourbon character to it. It's everything it's advertising. Just great, fucking fantastic. If you can get your hands on it, stock up on it, man. It's so good. Shows you where Anheuser-Busch isn't fucking with a small company, at least not in their really special stuff so far, which is great. Good on Anheuser-Busch for not doing that. And now 2 beers from Bellwoods Brewery this year. I had like 3 from them this year, but these 2 were ones that really stood out. First, the 3 Minutes to Midnight. Which is an Imperial Stout that has been aged in cognac barrels, but it's had tart cherries added to it. So it brings a really unique character, and the cherries really came out too. It was like they weren't overpowered by the barrels or anything like that, and they mixed with those sort of winey cognac notes. Really unique stuff. I really loved it. And finally, I mean, you ask me one day and I'll say it's this beer. You ask me the other day, I'll say it's Bourbon County Stout. But I guess, you know, if you're going to pull my leg, really, or you're going to pull my arm or whatever, the best beer for me this year was Bellwoods Bring Out Your Dead. Their Imperial Stout. Fucking amazing. Just watch the review and see how much I love that beer, man. Just blew me away. So lucky to get that beer. Still very appreciative. I'm appreciative of everything I got, of course, but that was a real treat. Bellwoods is just a small little brewery that a lot of people haven't heard of, but they're doing some great stuff. They're probably, you could probably compare them as like maybe the Hill Farmstead of Canada, maybe, in a way. I don't know. I keep hearing, for as far as like really small, super hyped breweries go, Hill Farmstead's the one who crops up from America. So in a way, this is probably the same thing, but man, everything I've had from them has been fucking fantastic, and it's not just a hyperbole at all. It's not, you're not getting this from some hipster douche saying, "Oh yeah, man, it's the greatest stuff I've ever had," and maybe he's only had 3 beers under his belt in his entire fucking life, and they all been craft beers. It's fantastic. I haven't had anything like it. Again, it's the cognac barrels they use in that. It's just wow, just, and it's neat. And it's neat to see something else being used barrel wise, and bringing out different, unique flavors rather than your standard bourbon stuff, which is great. When you make a great bourbon-aged beer, you know, it's a world beater. But in this case, they decided to do something different, and I applaud them for it. It was a really great job. Hope they make it again, and I hope to get to try it again if they do. So, okay, guys. I know this ran on quite a bit longer than I initially thought it was going to, but whatever. You don't like it, don't fucking watch it. Happy New Year to everybody. Some exciting stuff hopefully coming up in the new year for the channel. And I hope to see you guys come along with me as we try new and exciting beers and chat with my BeerTube friends and have all kinds of fun. All right, guys. See you later. Bye-bye.